How's it going, everybody? This is Artemis, along with the whole crew. Alfarius is here, Ari is here, Andrastus is here, and I am here. Say hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
And holy shit, E3 was happening today, and obviously...
E3 day one.
E3
Actually,
day one.
day
We had
zero.
four...
Day zero, yeah.
I held up 3 fingers. We had 4... For some reason I said 4 and held up 3. We had 4 conferences from 4 different companies today. We have a shit ton of stuff to cover, but the best thing to say is that it was really exciting. All right, without further ado, let's get started with day one of the conference. So, first ones were this morning. Microsoft had their conference, and Ari was kind enough to make us a little list of all the games.
Okay.
So let's talk about a couple of them. So, of course, what is one of Microsoft's favorite franchises that they don't own? They opened the show with Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I don't know why they would open with that.
So,
because everyone would shit their pants, like they always do.
Meh.
I'm just going to say this about Call of
I
Duty
did.
Advanced Warfare. This does not look like a private military game, and Kevin Spacey kind of promised us a private military game. And I
Well, I
noticed
think
a
this is
distinct
probably
lack
like a
of Kevin
flashback.
Spacey in this conference.
yeah,
I think this is
obviously,
supposed to be like before the main character joined the PMC group that they were showing off in the original trailer.
Well, I just want some Kevin Spacey. That's the only reason why I'm interested in this damn game.
Kevin Spacey wasn't even in the trailer, was he?
It wasn't in there,
like
but
that.
it also had laser guns and spider tanks, so it's okay.
Excuse me, I have my spider tank in Watch Dogs.
And jetpacks.
Eh.
Yeah, but sounds cool.
All right, look.
I'm sorry. I watched the trailer, watched it live actually, and honestly, I don't have much to say on it. Again, it's for everyone who says that this is going to revolutionize Call of Duty. I didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't see.
I mean, you guys,
they had some unique stuff.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. There's jetpacks, there's laser guns, there's fucking drop
I
pods.
feel like Halo has
It's
that.
pretty revolutionary to me.
Oh, crap! I just used your name.
Well, yeah, but it's something that Call of Duty hasn't done before.
I heard Alfarius. That's what I heard.
And Call of Duty also hasn't had a female protagonist. You know, we're not exactly talking about.
Well,
They're not exactly.
All I'm gonna say is with all the great
5 games they did were all World War II games. They were exactly the same.
So yeah, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is Call of Duty, and we put more Call of Duty in your Call of Duty, so you'll enjoy your Call of Duty. So that's pretty much. I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. It's going to come out this November. It's going to be $60, and it's going to sell a crap ton of copies. Let's move on. With all the games that were announced, honestly, I don't feel like we need to give Call of Duty too much time.
No.
Who knows?
All right, Forza 5.
Yeah. So Forza 5 got
It was pretty.
Are you sure? Hold on. I don't think it was Forza 5.
Yeah.
No.
They announced
I think it was Forza Horizon 2. I'm not kidding. No, that's not to mock you guys. Like that's because Forza 5's already out.
Oh,
No, Forza 5. They released a Nuremberg track for free.
Oh my gosh. I should go buy an Xbox One right away.
I just pay attention to this stuff. The Nuremberg track is actually one of the hardest tracks to race.
Now I really only have one thing to say about Forza 5. It has more diversity in its cars than the rest of the games did in the Microsoft conference. There was more diversity there than any other game.
And holy shit, there were a lot of racing games at E3. Did I mention that? Damn, I felt like I was watching racing games so much.
yeah,
There was like 2. No, 3.
There were like 3 or 4.
There was 3.
And these are like 3 or 4 big titles.
The actual new Forza though actually does look kind of good. I mean, just by graphics, from the graphics, it looks good.
Forza has always been very, very pretty, and
Forza is essentially
look
at how pretty I can make a game.
Yeah.
Not just that, but they also have the best driving mechanics I hear from any racing game.
So, speaking of driving, that's not driving. Evolve also looked pretty cool. I will say it looked. I definitely got struck that I thought it was a little bit generic. I thought it looked a little bit generic at first, but a lot of people are basically saying it's it's got like creepy mutated things. It's got shooting, so what's not to like. I mean, I'm not as excited for it as other people are. Even though it's coming out late, like in October, so they don't have much more time to convince me. But I don't know. Are any of you guys anticipating Evolve?
Is Left 4 Dead with aliens.
It looks interesting.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
But I did hear you can customize your entire team, so I will be playing that game with an entire team of badass women that just motor the fuck ton out of everything.
Well, the only reason I think that you can customize your team is that I saw 2 different pictures of the medic class. One was a dude and one was a chick. So I'm wondering if you can actually change each type of class for more customization.
Was the lady medic sexier than the dude medic?
Not really. Their armor looked pretty much the same, except one was bulkier.
Respect.
Respect. You know what else I respect? Yearly Assassin's Creeds. And they actually finally took off the veil off of Assassin's Creed Unity. I love these segues I'm doing. They're the greatest segues. So yeah, they finally took the sheet off of Assassin's Creed Unity. The big thing in the trailer, 4-player co-op, which, whoa.
That's exciting.
I have to say, did not expect that.
So
but it seems like a natural evolution for the series.
The gaming feminism team is all going to play together, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
On PS4, of course. Oh, wait. We have a problem with that. Someone here doesn't have
PS4.
Oh, no, it's not even out yet. Oh, get it before it comes out. Calm down.
Comes out like October 28th, I think.
Yeah.
Come on, Alfarius. Get your shit together.
Get on it. 4 more months. Get on it, boy.
There's nothing to play on it yet. I'm waiting for.
Oh, did you see the conference? Or you know what? No, you know what?
Those games aren't out yet.
Okay. Let's.
That's my point.
Okay, let's. Yeah. So they showed a pretty extensive demo.
So then why do I need to get one right now if those games aren't out yet?
Will you shush?
Would you shush unless it's about Assassin's Creed Unity? So, anywho, I was pretty impressed at how dense the crowds were. And
Fuck! You're general direction. I had to get that in. That's all I was thinking the entire time.
Gotta edit it out. Anywho, see, I have magic powers. So the 4-player co-op was cool. Very, very pretty. I have to say, I really like this. I really like some of the French architecture and stuff like that. It looked really, really good.
Actually, Augustus and I were talking about this earlier, and he didn't actually notice it because he was focused. He was fangirling too much over the combat. But you actually see a woman of color, a noble woman of color, in the background.
I did see that.
Exactly, and so I'm like, yes, yes, they aren't erasing all the brown people.
That seems accurate for the time period.
They also included misogyny in the fact that the guard's staring at her ass as she walks by.
Mm-hmm. Hella saw that. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, really? Is that why we're gonna score the kill? Because he's distracted?
Yeah.
That just shows you, French Revolution or not.
It's an effective distraction technique. I mean,
no. What this shows is that men are not good enough to be guards. They get distracted by the simplest thing.
Excuse me, I'm a great guard. No, I'm not. We will talk a little more Assassin's Creed when we go to the Ubisoft conference, but Dragon Age Inquisition was also shown, and this is the first time I was impressed by the game.
Well, it is so pretty looking.
It is very pretty.
I noticed that they still have not told me who I can sleep with. I'm very disappointed about that.
Welcome to the Gaming Feminism Podcast, where we bring the best of feminism and the worst of humanity to you.
Excuse me, I'm just saying. That's part of the reason why I play
criticizing the Assassin's Creed guy for staring at some ass. Who do I sleep with? Who do I sleep with? That's all I want to know. I'm Ari. That's all I want to know.
Well, no, that's one part of the reason why
nobody
I play
expects the Dragon Age Inquisition.
Is because they're usually well written, except for that red-headed asshole in the first game who totally leaves you at the end like a total d-bag. Oh, spoilers.
Some people were referring to Dragon Age Inquisition as well, so a lot of people were saying it's going to be the first real open-world BioWare game, like really open-world. While Mass Effect in it, for instance, was kind of linear in a lot of ways. It felt open, but it was actually quite linear. So So I don't know. A lot of people were also saying it was, it's got a lot of fantasy elements in there. It's got some Skyrim in there. It's got some Monster Hunter in there. So and I think it's the first Dragon Age I might actually consider buying because I haven't played the first two. So
the setting is absolutely beautiful. It makes total sense why they keep showcasing that because God, that's a pretty place to look.
Coming out this October. So is that a buy for anyone here? It's also on last gen, I believe. So
I've never played any game.
No, I've never played Dragon Age. So
okay, I got a question. A quick question: is the PS4 current gen or still next gen?
PS4 is current gen. Last gen would be 360 PS3.
Okay.
Also known as Alfarius' homeland.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I play around. Speaking of playing, I heard a lot of people. Oh my god, I'm so good at these. Speaking of playing, I heard a lot of people said that they wanted to play Sunset Overdrive.
Meh.
Yeah, and I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that game looks
okay.
awesome now.
Okay, it looks really colorful. Okay, it looks very colorful. It looks very like arcadey, jumping around, parkour, sliding on stuff. That sounds cool, but I don't know what it is. There's something.
And the
about
trailer was hilarious. How it just
Well, wasn't in the
The-
trailer? Wasn't the
the-
dude just fighting some mutated monster? And I was just like, well, this seems kind of generic.
Oh, it seems
Yeah.
totally generic.
no, but the trailer was hilarious. How they just give a giant middle finger to the first-person shooters.
Yeah, that was nice.
First-person
The
shooters.
soldiers in
That
the
was
gang.
awesome.
Yeah, it's got a lot of.
That just sold me right there.
Okay, this may just be me, guys, but like in the background, you see him open the door and get killed by a monster. I'm like, oh my god, no!
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I thought, yeah, I agree with Alfarius. It's kind of funny, I thought.
Okay, so I'm the only one with the
I
heart.
just
That's
think
It was
good.
a nice screw you to, Call of Duty and all the other first-person shooters that release yearly installments.
See, I'm a fan of the Ratchet games, so I love like wacky weapons that do crazy shit. So
Well, that is a.
it's kind of on my radar.
Yeah, it is. And that is a Xbox One exclusive, and I gotta say, that's definitely a trend. I'll talk more about this when we get to the end of the conference, but that's definitely a trend. Like, man, they pulled out some exclusives. I gotta say, Microsoft did. Not interested in all of them. Not interested in all of them, but nonetheless, they are there. So anyone who says that Microsoft has no exclusives, slowly is gonna have to start eating their words, because another one. I mean, they briefly showed off a bit of like totally mocking themselves. Capcom Dead Rising 3 DLC, and I don't even want to say the full name. It was like Dead Rising 3 Mega Ultra EX Alpha Ultra, something. I'm not even kidding.
Something.
Yeah, I don't even want to quote it all, but basically this is Capcom like laughing at themselves, I guess, and you're gonna be able to shoot Hadoukens and like pile drive people like you're from Street Fighter or Final Fight, and so I was like, I guess Dead Rising has become the parody franchise that Capcom has. So
It's always
been
been
kind of a
that way.
series.
and
Yeah.
also that DLC name is a direct joke to something that
Fighting
Capcom has
games.
been. It's a direct joke to fighting games because people have been saying forever that fighting games they get these subtitles that are just absurd. Like we have Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Ultra Street Fighter 4. So we keep on getting these expansions that just keep on getting more and more fantastical. So it's funny. I guess Capcom has a sense of humor about that. But that was the only thing that I think all day that was shown by Capcom, as far as I know.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
They also had Fantasia Music Evolve, and I didn't even know that was shown. Does anyone know anything about that? I must have missed that.
They
I missed that
only
part.
actually announced it.
Oh, they just announced it.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't
Yeah, they
really
just
show
announced the
any more.
title along with the new Dance Central. And by the way, God bless that company. They are sticking to their guns with, I'm a Connect company. I will make Connect games.
Even though
and you
no one will
love
buy
me."
my game, no one will buy my game because they're giving up on the Connect. Besides like the Dance Central stuff, again, this is like a topic for another video, but dang, no Connect talk at this conference really.
No,
Yeah,
not
there
at
was-
all.
It's like Connect is the redheaded stepchild that was just ditched.
Yeah.
Well, I know
And
during
they were just
Sony's,
like-
during Sony's conference, they made a jab about how the PlayStation camera was like a hot selling thing because they didn't
is.
make it. They didn't make it mandatory.
That's bullshit.
Well, again, I think a lot of
They're
gamers.
lying.
I think a lot of gamers bought the PlayStation camera because they kind of got sold on the whole Sony marketing thing of, oh yeah, you want to live stream your games and stuff like that, and a lot of people also got sold on the voice commands thing, and I've tried the voice commands myself, and they're trash, so they're not very good. And then some people have said I'm a Sony fanboy, but trust me, the voice commands are probably on Kinect they're better. I'm
Excuse
just gonna
me,
be honest.
but I had to say this. No voice command system has ever been good. The one in the call, that's a piece of shit. The one on my phone, that's a piece of shit. And that's Apple. I expect better from Apple.
Hey,
and they
Siri
still can't do a
changes my
fucking thing.
song's pretty good. Except there was like this one time I wanted to hear a heavy metal song and she turned it on to like country and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You
Wait, I
damn
actually set a timer
voice
because
on the
I set
phone."
an alarm.
Speaking of music and heavy metal,
Segway!
Dance Central.
Woo! Segway!
The
Great
Dance-
segue.
And moving on, because no one cares about Dance Central.
Oh, Alfarius. No one cares about you.
I enjoyed the actually like everyone thinks that stuff's just for like casuals and stuff.
I
If I was at a party and I
less
was
of a
really
shit about
really
those
drunk,
games.
I would play Dance. I would play Dance Central. If I was drunk at a party, I would.
Not even if I was completely smashed, I would play that game. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna say this: the Just Dance games are much superior to the Dance Central games, and let's just leave it at that.
Let's just leave
Ubisoft
it at
did it
that.
better.
Agreed.
A lot of people would say that one being better than the other is a fable. Speaking of fables, Fable Legend.
Oh God! Stop it!
Yes!
Just segment.
Stop with the transitions. Oh God!
I'm the king. Okay, so Alfarius and and actually I don't know. Has everyone here played like majority of the Fable games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
played Fable 3.
yeah, I played 1 a bit and I've beaten 2 and 3. So and I never played Fable the Journey, the BS Connect game or anything like that. I never played that.
Yeah, we don't count that as one
it's
of the
nice.
games, obviously.
It's nice to see Fable return, and I'm wondering, is this like the return of Fable, like finally a first party RPG, by Microsoft? Is this going to be the return, or what do you guys think of it?
It's 4-player forced co-op with a 5th player who's the villain. It's a nice gimmick, but it's not going to be one that brings back the series.
And mainly, I want to know one thing: who's the dumb asshole who decided to start bringing all this multiplayer shit into my single-player games? Elder Scrolls, Fable. Seriously, this is not a trend I like. I just want to be the hero of the universe and not have to deal with anyone else.
But a lot of people who play single-player games like exclusively, they've been saying like, oh, I've been playing single-player and like I'd love to get some multiplayer. I'd love to, have people be able to seamlessly join my games and
no.
And yeah, that's
spark of insight.
I mean, isn't that why, like in Watch Dogs, for instance, you can turn that functionality off? Like, if you don't want to get invaded, you can turn it off.
Well, are they going to allow you to turn that off, or is that something
I think most likely. I mean, okay, and if all else fails, you could only play the game offline, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Excuse me. I have fantastic Wi-Fi. When would I ever play it offline?
Maybe go to your settings and turn off your Wi-Fi. But that's the thing. They should just have a little option where you can turn it off. Trying to think of a good segue. Oh, well, no. Okay, that segue is really awful. Anywho, Project Spark. Let's just not have a segue.
Oh wait. Artemis, I had the perfect segue for you, and this is what you should have said. As a game developer, I am very excited about this.
Well, actually, it is pretty cool. If I had an Xbox One, that's not a segue, but it's good enough for me because I think Project Spark is essentially supposed to be making, like, let anyone basically make their own game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now, honestly, I gotta say, knowing a little bit about game development myself, I gotta say that that's a little bit of a stretch since I've seen the trailers and the gameplay. Yes, you're going to be able to make a game, but I'm curious, are you going to be able to do it to the same capacity as like Little Big Planet, where you can literally make Tetris in Little Big Planet? You can make Mario Kart in Little Big Planet, basically. So you can make like so I'm curious. I don't know if Project Spark's going to do that much. Nonetheless, it does look pretty interesting, and it does look like someone who just casually wants to throw a game together or throw, an interesting environment together can do that. And if I had an Xbox One, I'd definitely be checking this out. What do you guys think?
I gotta say, I like the cartoonish style, and it was pretty cute.
It is cute, and man, there was a lot of those kind of cartoony styles, and a lot of people are kind of turned off by it, but I like it.
Speaking of cartoon styles.
Speaking of cartoon styles, this game right here is actually my favorite game in the Microsoft press conference.
Really?
Ori and the Blind Forest. This game got almost no attention. It got very, very little stage time, if any, if I remember correctly. But I think it's
show a trailer, and that's it.
Yeah, it was a trailer, and then they didn't have a developer come out or anything.
No.
I've done a little bit of research on this game, and honestly, it's very, very reminiscent of like Miyazaki's Spirited Away. It has very much that feel. The game world, and this is coming from a guy who only has a PS4, and as soon as I found out that this was an Xbox exclusive, my heart was crushed because I was like, oh my god, I'm like, this looks gorgeous.
They're kind of forcing you to get both consoles now.
So it's like slowly, Microsoft, you're forcing my hand on this. You've got Killer Instinct. You've got Gears of War coming out in like 2 years. You've got this shit, and I'm just like, oh, Microsoft, I don't want to spend more money.
Speaking of Killer Instinct, I was really pissed off when they had that guy come out, one of the devs from Killer Instinct come out and they started playing the music. I was like, oh, Killer Instinct news, and they're like, oh, we're talking about some other game. Really?
Oh. Well, yeah.
Jesus like that, and then not even talk about it.
I mean, the Killer Instinct stuff was interesting. They finally went into season 2 of Killer Instinct, which is there was kind of a developer switch going on. Amazon purchased Double Helix, which is the ones who made the first season of content for Killer Instinct. It got switched over to the Dive Kick team, Iron Galaxy Studios, and now they're going to be responsible for Killer Instinct. And they just announced that TJ Combo is going to be, and he's like a classic fighting game character. Is going to be the first character. So, now Killer Instinct fans can be assured that their game is going to be taken care of. So that's a relief.
I was trying to think of a joke I could make about Amazon and the whole Hatchet Books debacle that's going on, but I couldn't think of one.
Good try. We respect the try.
Oh wait, I just thought of one. I guess this means that J.K. Rowling will be able to play Killer Instinct. All Stephen Colbert.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Speaking of games that none of us can play, Halo 5 Guardians and the Master Chief.
One.
I'll take this one.
Wait. Pause. Let us acknowledge the beautiful fact that Studios 343 is run by a woman.
They are.
Yes,
343 Studios is headed by a woman.
They tried it all out, and she's the one who spoke about it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember her name, but yeah, I do remember that actually. And and very very closely tied to that announcement was the Master Chief Collection, and Alfarius, I think somewhere in the universe you just more mentally blown.
Creamed yourself.
I gotta say
I was so disappointed that I missed it. I was out walking my dog, but I watched it later.
Again, just for the quick recap on what this package will offer: Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, actually, Alfarius, why don't you cover it? That was kind of your character.
Yeah, you're getting Halo 1 Anniversary, which is already out, but they're also remastering Halo 2, because obviously Halo 2's anniversary is this year.
Only thing in that package I care about. Halo 2. That's all I care about.
And then you're also getting Halo 3, which I was kind of hoping they would also remaster Halo 3. But Halo 4...
No, that is getting remastered.
No, I don't think it is it?
It is. All 4 are getting remastered.
I don't think so. Because it said Halo 1 Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, and that was just Halo 3. I don't think they're remastering Halo 3.
Okay, well, whatever. So there are going to be some new graphics, and what else do you get?
You get Halo 4. You get access to the beta for Halo 5 multiplayer, which they showed a little sneak preview of that.
4,000 achievements.
4,000.
Yeah, 4,000 achievements. Apparently, Halo 5 is going to be like 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is with dedicated servers, which it sounds awesome, but we'll see.
Starting to think it's just a marketing line.
Yeah, because they said the same thing about Watch Dogs.
They said the same thing about a lot of games.
They say that a lot about games. And then also you get the Halo Nightfall, which is like the TV series.
Leading up to Halo 5.
Leading up to Halo 5.
Which is done by the guys who did Falling Skies.
Which is a good show if anyone here hasn't watched it.
I thought it was on... Wait, wasn't it on the Sci-Fi channel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they still play it every now and then.
Yeah.
Wait. I think it's still going on.
So does that mean our expectations have been lowered?
No.
Excuse me,
Sci-Fi channel
No, it's actually a good sci-fi show.
I'm sorry, but didn't Sci-Fi Channel also make the Sharknado?
Yes, they make shitty movies like that, but they also make some.
They also made movies. Like Last of the Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
That was a sci-fi original.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, for me, the most amazing thing about this package is you're going to get every Halo map pretty much ever released.
Yeah.
Not counting ODST or Reach, but
right.
But Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4, every multiplayer map, every piece of map DLC content you are getting for what I assume will be $60. And I gotta say, that collection is probably getting up there with like one of the best values in gaming. That is holy.
They didn't set a price, did they?
Yeah, I mean, no, they didn't set a price, but it's safe to assume it's going to be $60. And that's probably
might
cheap.
be more than that.
That is. I mean, if it's more than $60, then sure, it might still be worth it. But I know Xbox.
Well, actually, guys, just checking Amazon right now. It says that the Master Chief Collection will be $60.
Yeah, they probably will.
Oh wow, then that is a fucking deal.
Yeah, that is a good deal. And the main thing for me is that, I'm curious: is this all going to fit on one Blu-ray disc? I understand Blu-ray discs have 50 gigs of capacity and stuff like that. I don't know if they're using discs that have more, but
I think they specifically said that.
And I don't know if it will fit.
Oh no.
I mean, they said it would. They said it would. So I kind of doubt it. It might be 2 discs.
If it's 2 discs,
multiplayer will probably be on disc 2.
Or maybe they'll have all the single players on one.
Yeah, so yeah, it might just be a second install disk. What they did for
Yeah,
smaller
probably
knobs
what
is that you got just a free update.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nonetheless,
they might just have
that
it
is,
on downloads that you need to do separately.
we mentioned this briefly during one of our test run episodes of the Gaming Feminism podcast. The Master Chief Collection, on top of that, in Halo 5, Halo fans now have to buy an Xbox One. They no longer have a choice. I mean, of course, sure, Microsoft can't reach into their wallets and take the money, but
They essentially have.
But I mean, for Halo fans,
Essentially.
I mean, you're getting. I mean, Alfarius, as a lifelong Halo fan, like for you, like what is this? This is like the biggest. I mean,
That's
the
pretty
biggest
awesome.
thing that could happen for Halo fans. You're getting every game you love, like better graphics, all the multiplayer maps. If you had a 360 or an Xbox, like this is the thing for you. And I'm just wow.
curious to see if I can actually get Halo 2 on its own, because I already own Halo, all the other Halo. I already have Halo 1 Anniversary, and I have Halo 3 and Halo 4. So,
I seriously doubt it. It's going to be this collection or nothing.
I mean, I'll probably still get. There's other stuff you get too, like the beta and everything. So yeah, I'll probably buy it.
Yeah. So okay. So Halo was definitely definitely a big deal. Although just a announcement trailer really for Halo 5. And not much to really say about it. We'll hear more about it. It's not coming out until next year, so definitely over the next year and at E3 next year we will hear much more about Halo 5. Guardians. Now, Inside is a smaller game compared to Halo, but I was still pretty excited about it, and I'm trying to remember the team that's behind this game. It's a team that they made
the team that did Limbo.
Is it the Limbo team? Are you sure?
That's what. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looks very.
They announced the game, but I'm not sure if it's Inside.
The guy was so vague, but he was wearing a Limbo shirt, and it's like.
Okay, then I think it's safe to
do that on purpose. I don't think you do that by accident. That's on purpose.
Only thing is, did they announce if that's going to be an Xbox One exclusive as well, or is that going to be PS4?
I think so. I think all the
Inside looks really, really cool.
Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, Inside does look really, really cool. Now, not that I'm not giving any time to Inside, but this next one we all really, really want to talk about, and that is Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Every single person on the Gaming Feminism team is excited for this game.
Not just that, but an earlier announcement was made today because they're doing I believe like a 14 comic or 20 comic book series that bridges between Game 1 and Game 2. And for the second half of the series, so for the first half it was just Gail Simone writing it. But for the second half, it will be Gail Simone and Rihanna Pratchett, who was the writer for the first game, working together and writing it together.
Huh. Well, I gotta say, that announcement trailer was unbelievably gorgeous.
Yeah, that game looks.
It was really cool.
It's safe to say that it's in engine. It's not gameplay, but it's safe to say it's in engine. And if that's in engine, I mean, wow. Just let's just say that's going to be a day. That's going to be a day one buy for me immediately.
Oh, that's a pre-order buy.
That's a pre-order buy, absolutely. I assume this is after Tomb Raider, was a market success. They said, yeah, we're working on the next one. Yeah, I think this is safe to say that this is basically the Tomb Raider 2 that they've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's not called Tomb Raider 2. It's not a subtitle. It's just Rise of the Tomb Raider.
And seeing how Gail Simone has essentially said that, oh yeah, I'm working on the comic that will lead to the second game. And people were asking her today, like, wait, we just saw it happen, and it looks like she's withdrawn into herself, and she's seeing a psychologist. How is that going to work? And she's like, oh, it will work. That's why I'm working very closely with Crystal Dynamics, and I'm working very close with Rihanna Pratchett making the comic. So she's essentially confirmed that this is the second game.
Yeah. And I gotta say, and trust me, we're gonna be talking about Tomb Raider plenty before the game comes out, so it will get its time. But just briefly touching on what they're proposing story-wise, this appears to be like some of the psychological trauma from her experience in the first game.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to
obviously got PTSD.
Yeah, she's got some PTSD, and we're gonna get to see, possibly some of her rehabilitation. Probably, there's gonna be some flashbacks, and there's gonna be hopefully a whole new adventure too. I don't want her to just be sitting in an office.
And so I'm trying not to spoil that for you guys, because I'm a girl like that, but I think it will actually have to do with trauma she faces within the comic books.
It could be. It's probably going to be both, I think. So kind of curious, is that going to be like do you guys think that's going to be like a dialed down adventure? She's just going to be like doing a bunch of flashbacks in an office somewhere talking to a guy, or are we going to get a brand new adventure on top of this? Lara Croft is well known for having numerous adventures where she just got in over her head and was able to survive.
Either way would be great. I would be happy with either one.
I really do think that close-up storytelling, kind of like where it's not quite as bombastic as the first game was, like just a little bit more of reflecting on her and reflecting on like, the death of like Roth, who was her, her mentor and things like that, and was close with her father. Just, I want to get a little bit more personal storytelling. The first one was good at that, but I feel like this one has a huge opportunity to be even better.
Well, that and trying not to spoil the comics again, she does face more trauma within the comics.
You're right. So it's going to be it's linked to the comics. It's linked to the first game. This game's going to be fantastic. I don't even need to see any more trailers for it to know that.
I know. It's just like you already know you're getting my money. Just give it to me now.
This is a shut up and take my money situation. And, also, The Witcher 3 got another trailer, I believe. And and it was a gameplay trailer, and I'm going to throw it out there. You guys can totally disagree with me if you want, and after everything we're going to talk about today, you guys might totally disagree. The Witcher 3 is the most gorgeous next-gen game out of anything. That's what I say. What do you guys think?
It looks amazing.
Because I'm sorry, look at the trailers.
Plus you're tracking a Griffin.
Go look at Halo 5 Guardians. Go look at Sunset Overdrive. Go look at Assassin's Creed Unity, Call of Duty.
Whoa. Let's not compare The Witcher 3 to Sunset Overdrive. They're in completely different styles.
Yeah, they are.
I think it'd be more fair to compare it to, say, Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'm not sure which one's prettier because they're both two fundamentally different games.
It's negligible, really. I mean, but I gotta say, just especially if you look at the trailer before this one was released, this one is even more testament to it. But this is going to be the game that I think people are going to be like define, because again, they just like Batman, they made a conscious decision not to put it out on PS3 or 360. They said if we put it out on those past platforms, we would be compromising our vision too much, and that's why I'm buying Batman, because the developer is saying, yeah, the install base is great over there, but we don't want to compromise. We don't want to compromise on graphics. We don't want to compromise on anything. So we are only doing next gen. So, and I'm very, very happy about that. Witcher 3 is going to be fantastic. And I've never played a Witcher game in my life, but I've seen them, and I'm very, very excited.
I still need to beat Witcher 2. I haven't beaten it yet.
Well, yeah, this game doesn't come out until probably mid to late next year, so you have time. You have some time. Apparently, there was a game called I don't know what the first game was called, but for Phantom Dust, apparently it's like a reboot of. I don't know if there was a Phantom Dust before this. I don't know much about it.
I researched this earlier. There was a Phantom Dust before this. It was on the original Xbox. That's how far back they've gone.
Yeah.
And it was a card game, essentially.
So we probably had like 2 people who were actually excited for this game.
But nonetheless, this is actually this brings up a very interesting point. I'm not sure if this is a Microsoft-owned property. It sounds like it probably is, and it looks like Microsoft finally came to the realization that we don't have a lot of exclusives outside of like Halo, Fable, Gears. So maybe just like Sony has their smaller exclusives, things like Sly
Child
Cooper.
of Light.
Well, Child of Light's not an exclusive, but
yeah, it is.
Child of Light's on every platform.
Oh, I didn't think it was on the Xbox.
No, it's on Xbox One. It's on Wii U. It's not on PC, I don't think, but it's gonna be. No, it's like just like Sony has their small exclusives like Sly Cooper and things like that. It looks like Microsoft is finally trying to develop smaller exclusives as well. Not everything has to sell a bajillion copies. Like imagine the fans who woke up this morning never thinking a Phantom Dust reboot was gonna happen, and now they're so happy.
Oh, that was.
It's probably their game of the show.
Now the 90% of fans were like, "What's Phantom Dust?"
Oh yeah, majority of people didn't know, but nonetheless, I look at this and I'm like, wow, Microsoft, I'm actually going to stop and I'm going to take my hat off to you and I'm going to be like, wow, you appealed to a smaller fan base. I thought you were only about the money, And Phantom Dust probably won't sell that much. I mean, it's really not well known, but guess what? The people who do buy it, it's going to grow the fan base, and I'm very, very happy for that fan base.
Well, this may just be me, but it kind of looks like an X-Men game, like with all the mutant powers and stuff.
When I first read it, I thought it was someone told me it was a fighting game, and I was like, what? They're going to get another exclusive fighting game, and then I saw footage for it, and I was like, this is a card game. So, but it looked pretty for a reboot.
Yeah.
I'm curious,
yeah,
is Microsoft going to Are they going to start doing this with some other like smaller franchises too, like Jade Empire and games we have not seen in ages? I'm curious. Maybe in future conferences we will find out. We're getting close to the end of the Microsoft games here. There are 2 more. One
Three
being
more.
is there 3 more?
Yes.
Oh.
You can't count.
I can't. Really? Okay.
Division, Scalebound, Crackdown.
Scalebound isn't actually on our list, huh?
Scalebound is not on my list.
Yeah.
It was.
So maybe you can't
That's not
count.
on mine either.
No, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
well then I actually
Scalebound is
skipped
on
over
this
that
one.
one. So it's a
So,
good
okay,
thing
we
my
did
original list.
Scalebound, so let's talk about Scalebound.
Scale.
Again,
It looks so good, but at the same time, I want to say, is this another Devil May Cry game? Because it looks like it. This looks like a very young Dante.
yeah. Oh, actually, I thought it was Dante with blonde hair. Which
Yeah,
I thought it was the DMC Dante with blonde hair.
Oh, don't worry. My other thought was,
The
wait.
original Dante.
My other thought is, wait, is this Quicksilver from X-Men in the fantasy world?
He kind of reminded me of Delson Rowe from Infamous Second Son, to be honest with you. His attitude and things like that.
yeah, I
but,
can see that comparison.
Again, it also just it was very reminiscent of like Monster Hunter, things like that. And this is Platinum's game, if I'm mistaken. The same guys behind like Bayonetta.
It looks like it.
It's got that bombastic action, and I'm pretty sure it's Platinum. So Scalebound, hey, if Dragon Age and Witcher are not enough for you, and you want to kill more dragons, then Scalebound is what's with killing dragons? Like,
Man,
wow,
no
fucking
wonder.
awesome.
Actually, you're not killing dragons in this one. I think you're working
What's
with
your
the
problem with
dragons.
killing dragons?
after Skyrim, I'm good. Like,
Hey, Artemis, see, this is why dragons are now extinct.
Exactly.
this is why it's good dragons aren't real. Oh crap! I think I did a Santa Claus isn't real thing for some nerds here. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm being mean. Okay. I will tell you. Okay, I said that Ori and the Blind Forest. I almost said the Black Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest is my most excited game, and yes, for Microsoft's conference, that is the best one. But this next one is my second, and that is Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3.
Oh, I'm going to talk about the Division?
When they announced this, I was just like, "Whoa!" Do you guys want to talk about the Division first? Because I'm about to do a Crackdown rant.
Okay,
No,
do your
go ahead.
Crackdown rant.
Crackdown.
Oh, it's a really short rant. It's just I think Phil Spencer was asked about this like 6 months ago, and people were like, "We haven't had Crackdown 2 in ages. Where is Crackdown?" And he's just like, "Oh, it's an important franchise, but we're not really, we're not going to be introducing it right now." And no one knew what was up with Crackdown. And then just I wouldn't say this is out of nowhere, but it was definitely a surprise. And I was like, "Whoa, Crackdown 3."
I love the original Crackdown.
1. Yeah, kind of going back to the Crackdown 1 roots. Crackdown 2 was kind of not really liked by people because they threw in zombies and mutant powers and crap, but no one really liked it. And it looks like this one's going back to Crackdown 1. This is a Microsoft exclusive that I can get behind.
Yes. It looks
It'd be
sick.
good to waste an
I'm
afternoon on.
If anything, it's just because in the trailer they blow up a whole building just to take out one dude.
I just like collecting agility orbs. That's my favorite thing in the game.
Yes.
I collected so many agility orbs. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
The game was so fun. Oh, yeah.
No, I got one concern about Crackdown 3. Because the first one was pretty racist. It was actually really super racist.
Okay, hold on. I played this game like 8 years ago. Give me a sec to remember. Well, first, say what was racist about it.
Yeah, you know what it was.
The characters.
Hold on. Okay, now that I think about it, yeah, wasn't the story all about you're only fighting like Asian gangs?
Yeah, you were like fighting all
no,
like
you fight three different gangs. One's Mexican, one's black, one's Asian. But like the Asian agent you play, the more powerful you get, he actually grows like a stash and a white beard. And then, like,
Oh my God, I didn't
one
notice that.
Yeah, okay, now that I think about
I
it.
don't think I ever played this, so I probably didn't even notice that. That is pretty racist.
It was super racist.
Not only that, but there was also no female agents.
I almost guarantee that will be an option.
I hope
There weren't
so.
female agents? I thought there were.
Nope.
No.
Nope,
Not
not
one.
even in the
That is,
DLC. I checked.
That's increasingly becoming a standard, I think. So
remember
I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought I remember playing as a female female agent.
No, there's
I
no
guess my
female
memory's
characters
wrong.
in that. Maybe there was in 2, but there wasn't in the first one.
Maybe there wasn't 2 because I didn't play 2 at all.
The last game that they showed at the Microsoft conference, and we'll talk about it way more at the Ubisoft conference. This is an Ubisoft game, right? Am I getting that wrong? Yeah, Ubisoft. Sometimes I get EA and Ubisoft's games confused. That is The Division, and
The Division.
for a while I was not really seeing what people were so excited about, but apparently this is supposed to be like a 4-player co-op MMO style game on consoles and like post-apocalyptic, and I'm starting to see where some of the excitement is coming from. It's very pretty, but I don't know. What do you guys think, The Division?
I think they're starting to do the world building, and the world building is looking fantastic.
Yeah, no, you're
They're
right.
taking this idea of the apocalypse and what that actually means and how that would affect people, and they're just running with it, which I think is just a great idea.
If this game really is as big as they say it is, I'm really curious how long have they been working on this? Because I gotta say, like the demo looked like it was about ready to ship. I mean, that's just me, but I'm starting to see where the excitement is coming from, and yeah, I mean, anything else? I didn't really have much to say about it. I mean, it was pretty, and maybe I'll buy it at some point. I don't really know.
I think that's a problem we're having right now is with every new game they're releasing, because it's the next gen. We're not used to new graphics. We keep going, oh, these games are really good looking, but are we? They're not.
They're not giving us much details otherwise.
Yeah, we get to see some of the game, like a little bit of the gameplay, but none of the in-depth stuff we used to get at E3. It's always just, oh, look how pretty this one is. Oh, look how pretty this one is. I want to see some substance, because these games are going to be things we're expected to play for a long time.
Definitely not a lot of gameplay demos. And you'll notice that when we talk about a lot. I mean, yeah, a lot of them were announcement trailers, teaser trailers. Yes, we did get some gameplay trailers, and whenever we mention a game, if we get a gameplay trailer, we'll mention it. But and The Division, it was gameplay, it seemed like, but it was.
Yeah, there was.
But again, I think it's just for next gen, a lot of ideas seem to be overlapping, and a lot of games seem to be overlapping. So for me, this is why like The Division, it's going to be a great game, absolutely. People will buy it, but it fades a little bit in the background for me, because it seems that it kind of, I mean, for forever I was getting the crew in The Division, and also the name is very generic. So I don't know. It's nonetheless, it looks like a good game. So
it's also a Tom Clancy game. And I've only ever played one Tom Clancy game before, and that was like the original Rainbow Six on the Xbox 360. But from what I remember, it had a pretty solid story.
That is not the original Rainbow Six.
Well,
not even close.
Well, the thing is that I would definitely say, unfortunately, Tom Clancy did pass away. That was a shame.
Yeah.
But he obviously was an acclaimed writer. His books. He was an acclaimed writer of like political suspense novels and really like military suspense novels, and really a lot of his novels were just fantastic. I've read several of them, and they were great. And now that doesn't necessarily mean that Tom Clancy games, the quality of the books automatically transfers to, I mean, we've had Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six Vegas, Vegas 2, we've had the Ghost Recon series, we've had
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, Splinter Cell, we've had numerous things. And I don't know, like I almost thought at first that Tom Clancy's The Division was going to be like all of those universes kind of melding into one. But no, this seems like it seems to be doing its own thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's pretty much everything we had to say about the Microsoft conference. Real quick, was there anything that you guys were expecting to see that you didn't? Or was there anything, that you thought worked really well, or anything that, besides the sneakers and the suits, besides that? But besides that...
The Tomb Raider was a surprise. The Tomb Raider was a surprise.
I didn't expect to see that.
I mean, we all knew Halo details were coming.
Not much.
Let me take a look at the list one more time.
I guess Phantom Dust was a surprise.
A surprise in that no one remembers it.
And that there's like 2 people on the whole planet that actually know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was impressed that Microsoft even bothered spending time on indies. Ori and the Blind Forest, and games like that getting some attention.
Did indies, especially because I remember Sony's conference from last year where they trotted out a bunch of different developers. And they did that this year as well. They tried out a bunch of different developers because they're like, we like indie games, you like indie games, look at all our indie games. And
yeah, it's definitely Microsoft catch-up time in terms of kind of getting back in with the indie crowd because of gamers and the developers.
They did not actually have any indie developers on stage.
That's true. They did not. It was all it was execs.
And the main way they introduced the indie games that they were getting was a montage with the song. And like the lyric that kept repeating in my mind while I was watching this is saying that they were gonna dance with the devil. So let's dance with the devil. It's like, well, Microsoft kind of is the devil.
That's because one of the games there is called Don't Dance with the Devil. It's like Mr. Teacup, the one that looks like the '30s cartoon.
Yeah,
that looks really cool. Yeah, that looks a lot like that, but it's called like Mr. Teacup and Don't Dance with the Devil or something.
Oh,
well, I think we should.
Oh, I see. See, I thought that was actual commentary on the company.
It could be too. Who knows?
Yeah, it really could be. But,
I will say. Sorry. Andros.
No. I was just going to say that after we finish this conference, we should probably end this video because it's going to hit an hour long soon.
Yeah, I honestly, I'll get into that in a sec. Let me just say real quick before I finish off the video for the Microsoft conference. I don't really think anyone was expecting to see Gears of War 4 because Microsoft. Microsoft they showed a logo, but I mean Microsoft has only owned the franchise for 3 or 4 months, so the chances of seeing even a teaser trailer was pretty unlikely.
Well, actually, let's talk about them owning the franchise because they essentially owned the franchise before because they were the ones funding it and they were essentially paying for the development. That's why they were only Xbox 360 games. This move was because they were worried that the guys who make Gears of War might stray and go over to Sony, and so they're like, no, fuck you, we own you.
After last gen, I think there was definitely a concern somewhere in Microsoft. There was probably internal debate about, holy crap, what if Gears of War 4 goes to PS4?
Exactly. They didn't want to risk.
If that happened, like, I mean, that's.
They didn't want to risk losing sales, so that's why they spent $1 billion on a company they already pretty much owned.
Now, mind you, even if Gears of War
4, I don't want them to.
I mean, I almost guarantee you'll get a full gameplay trailer next year at E3, but nonetheless.
I just don't understand why. We already had this happen with Halo. That story was supposed to be over, and they started over again, and they're gonna do the same thing with Gears of War. Who are we fighting? Are they gonna bring the Locust back again?
It's probably
no, but they could go backwards and do the like before the war with the asphalt fields.
So it would be before it would be a prequel.
It might.
Could be before,
I mean, that would be cool.
Judgment.
I'm just saying, I don't want them to continue, do some retcon bullshit and start the story over again.
They need to stop beating the dead horse.
Well, I think it's safe to say, if I were to...
I don't want them to do that with Gears. I really don't.
If I were to throw my hat in the ring, and if anyone disagrees, they can say, I think this is a holiday 2016 title. Halo 5 is going to be next year. In the 360 generation, they very much jumped back and forth. 1 year, Halo. Next year, Gears. Next year, Halo. Next year, Gears. So I think they're going to establish that for this gen, too. What do you guys think?
Oh, that's entirely possible.
That could be, yeah.
So you'll get Halo 5 Guardians next year for holidays, 2016 Gears, and then probably Halo 6. Holy crap, we're at Halo 6. Yeah. So that's pretty much all of our thoughts. Any closing thoughts on the Microsoft conference? That's before we close the video.
No,
that was a pretty solid conference, I think.
Of course, if we were going to compare this to last year's DRM-filled, we're going to, spy on you half naked with the Kinect, last year, I have to say, vast improvement, and holy crap, they brought the games.
Yeah, they did bring the games.
So when the executives of Microsoft said they were, and not only that, there was no TV talk, zero.
There was the only thing that was mentioned was the Halo TV show. That was it.
Yeah. But other than that, there was no Kinect talk. There was no TV talk. There was no, hey, let's watch football together, with your Kinect. Let's Skype your friend. No, it's just games all day.
I just realized something.
What's that?
One of the big titles that was a major thing for the Xbox One last year didn't even get mentioned this year. Quantum Dream.
Or Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, yeah.
Right. It didn't even get mentioned.
I think there was just honestly nothing that they could really show right now. I mean, I believe that's from the Alan Wake team. That's from Remedy.
Yep.
And Remedy is a hell of a studio. They're very talented. And Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare, both great games.
So we still don't know what Quantum Break is.
No, we still don't.
We still don't know what it is.
I think they talked about it being like it's also a crossover with some TV show, and
Oh God, they're gonna go the Defiance route with this.
Yeah,
I think so. So we'll see. I mean, you'll hear about Quantum Break.
I can visibly feel your scorn for that.
Yeah.
The TV show is actually good, but the game was
sucked.
terrible.
Wasn't it an MMO?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was an MMO, and like what certain events that you did in an MMO actually like translated to the TV series, but then no one played it. Yeah, but then no one played it, so I think they gave up on that.
Yeah.
So I will say overall, as more of a Sony fan than a Microsoft fan, I will absolutely say congrats to Microsoft because believe it or not, Microsoft actually showed one more game, I believe, than Sony did. Sony showed about 19 games, and Microsoft showed 20. So now the fanboys can go ahead and butt heads over that. But whatever it is, Microsoft I think did well. So we're going to go ahead and finish off the video now. This has been just the Microsoft video. So we're going to go ahead and make a separate video for all the other conferences.
Yeah, good idea.
So this has been Artemis, Andrastis, Ari, and Alfarius. And
why do you always say my name like that?
I will always say your name like that.
It's part of your bromance.
Yes, totally. I love you, Alfarius.
Say my name.
From all of us at the Gaming Feminism.
Alfarius, you're goddamn right it is.
We thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed some of our E3 coverage, please subscribe. I'm a sellout. Do you see how much of a sellout I am? And we will see you guys later.
Signing off.
Everyone wave. Goodbye.